Well, hi everyone. Players, please take your seats. Yeah, we're good. We're ready. I'm ready. I'm going to start talking. Y'all can figure yourselves out. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nature Check, the show where you come to the game and stay for the science. We are so excited to be here with y'all at Urban Chestnut Brewing Company in St. Louis, Missouri. Are you guys ready for some fun? That was the saddest word. That was the saddest word. Are you guys ready to have some fun? Marvelous! Before we get the game showing, we should probably introduce ourselves since we're hanging out in like a random back room at a brewery. Hi, I'm Sheryl, the Dungeon Master for Nature Check. I'm also a PhD student in ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I study ecosystem restoration and the effects of land management. Oh, please leave the door open. We want more people to come inside. Yeah, it's not just a private show for you guys. When I'm not doing my research, I am also a science communicator, and I am the host of the Roving Naturalist on YouTube. Would you guys like to meet the See Things players? What was that? Yeah, there we go. Okay, all right, we're just going to go down the table.
My name is Joe. I am a doctoral student at the University of Wyoming. The stuff I'm going to be presenting here at ESA is pesticide toxicology research that is going to call into question a lot of assumptions about agriculture. I'm going to be playing Lucanus tonight, the resident barbarian.
My name is Peter. I am a county agriculture agent in Maryland. I do outreach relating to insects, pest management, agriculture, and tonight I'm going to be playing Cedric the Dwarf.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nancy. I'm an entomologist, and I live in Ecuador, where I do personalized tours of Ecuador focused on insects. I am here basically promoting that. I will have a booth in the exhibit hall, and I will be competing in the Antlion pit. So if you want to come in and support that, that'd be awesome. I'm playing Kay, and she is a human-ish looking person, and is a rogue.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm an entomologist working in plant healthcare in public gardens, so I work at a nonprofit. In this game, I play Fletcher, a human wizard. He was still only level 1, so he's still very, very squishy. So we'll see how that changes.
Who are we kidding? Wizards are always squishy. And as if having our show in front of a live audience tonight wasn't exciting enough, I am stoked to say that we have not one, but 2 special guest players with us this evening.
My name is Jody Green. I've never played D&D before. Everything I know about this game I learned from Nature Check. I am an extension entomologist with Nebraska Extension, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm an urban entomologist, so my specialty is termites, bedbugs, roaches, and ants. Am I allowed to say that?
I'll keep that secret.
I'm just happy to be here.
Hi, I'm also happy to be here. I'm Jonathan Larson. I am an assistant professor at the University of Kentucky, and I'm an extension as well. And I've played Dungeons & Dragons, but only the first edition before. So this is going to be a new experience for me as well.
Old school. Pardon our tech, we only have 1 microphone, so we're going to do the passing it back and forth thing. We'll try not to knock over all the drinks. We'll see how that goes. Before we actually start playing D&D, there are a few things I need y'all to do. First of all, if you're here in our live audience, which I guess is the only choice because we're not live streaming because faulty Wi-Fi, come on up or go to the back bar and grab one of those Nature Check logo stickers and stick it on yourself or your phone or whatever. You can use that discount or that sticker to get a discount on beer at the bar. Secondly, please do us a quick a favor and let your friends know that we're playing and that you're here watching us. We'd love to see them join the audience. Thank you. And while your phones are out texting everyone to get their butts over here, you should also jump on Twitter and follow us at @CheckNature. The pinned tweet on our profile page right now is a poll. Go ahead and vote on it right now. You've got like a little over half an hour left to vote. The result of that vote, that poll on Twitter, will determine what kind of night these guys are going to have. So you get to choose what happens to them this evening. So vote wisely, or not. And because I'm a big fan of audience participation, in addition to voting on our poll, you've got one other way to be a part of our game. Anytime this evening that any of these 6 people up here rolls a d20 and fails the check, put your hands in the air and I'll pick one person to ask that player a question. Questions can be about the player's research or their occupation, their science communication, their favorite food, their characters, whatever. So get ready to ask those. No, if you fail. And with that, I guess we're going to get things started. And hopefully more people will wander in. But we're going to play D&D regardless. All the tech problems are always Peter's fault. But I broke my damn screen, so that's my first thing. Civilizations grew, flourished, and fell on the continents of Lacidus for hundreds of years. But in the year 885, everything changed. Where once the gods of the pantheon held sway over various continents and made their presence known in frequent and tangible ways to mortals, now a dread silence and emptiness reigned. Civilizations fell into internal turmoil, and tensions mounted between empires. The faiths of nations were shaken, and new versions of old religions began to sprout. Spells once commonplace and relied upon, those that required the gods' particular attentions, no longer functioned. Access to and contact with all other planes disappeared or seemed blocked. The continent of Arda, still colloquially known as the God's Garden, was once the sacred and protected realm of Obadhai and Ilana. At the moment of the loss, the strong protective spells surrounding the continent fell, and the shores and interior became accessible to any who wished entry on whatever business. In 952, a ship from the Tenebrian Navy took shelter in the large river mouth at the southeastern corner of Arda, and the sailors erected a small fort for protection. Over the years, the fort grew into a town, and the town grew into a small city. While Tenebria officially holds no claim over Arda, no outside nation has yet claimed dominion over the continent, New Sechester is, for all intents and purposes, a Tenebrian colony. You are not in New Sechester anymore. You are, as the townsfolk would say, out there. Yesterday, you met a farmer in the Marked Bird and agreed to help him investigate the mysterious deaths of his livestock. During the investigation, you met Bedwer, an Ibixian scout who had been sent by his clan to track and gather information on strange creatures they had spotted roaming with a band of goblins in the grasslands east of New Sechester. After Bedwer helped you fight a group of monstrous mosquito-like creatures called sturges, he requested that you visit his clan and speak to his chieftain in order to share what you knew of the strange creatures, orcs. You have stayed the night within the camp of the Chun An Iar, the first humans, elf and dwarf, to ever do so. As you wake up, you remember that Isbeil, the Ibixian wise woman, said she would have a task for you today. Now, it is early morning on Cordum, the 27th day of Mistrun, in the year 972. What would you like to do, folks?
Cedric needs to go do his morning prayers and wash his shirt. It's still covered in bug, ichor, blood, peasant blood, mud from yesterday. So he slept in it like that, but now he's going to try and do his best to get it clean. And then he's going to look around for everybody else for breakfast. Yeah, Bedwar promised him some rat for breakfast. So.
Well, as you remember, so you and Bedwar actually roasted some rats last night because he had to get up early this morning and go out with his cousin Raybert to start sending the message about the orcs to all of the other Ibixian clans, so that the leaders could come together in sort of a big clan meeting to talk about this problem, because orcs have never been spotted on Arda before. They don't know what they are, but Lucanus' description of the havoc that the orcs and other creatures wrought on his home continent really concerned the Ibixian clan leader. So Bedwar is nowhere to be found this morning. But the sort of like young people's sleeping quarters where you spent the night, Cedric, Lucanus and Fletcher are also there, and Kay was sort of in another section with the young women. So yeah, you're pretty sure where everyone is.
Well, all right, after I'm done with my morning prayers, my morning bathing, laundry, then I'm going to go look for Lucanus and Fletcher.
Kay unceremoniously wakes up and stumbles outside looking for people to eat breakfast with. Definitely not rat, though.
Lucanus is currently finishing sharpening his weapons, which is, by the way, not a euphemism. He starts out looking for Fletcher and Cedric and Kay and all that. Where are you guys?
Yeah, I think we're all together. I think, yeah.
Okay, so
I was not with them because I was in the women's sleeping quarters. Where are y'all? Where are y'all?
I mean, Fletcher gets up and he sees Cedric out there waiting and walks over. So I think the three of us are pretty much together and see you making your way through camp towards us. And I guess once we're together, Fletcher would be like, so where do we go from here? I mean, we know there's a pretty serious problem out here with these ogres. And if it's a problem out here, it's going to end up being probably a problem back in town for Kay and everybody there. So, what should we do?
Can I just say I'm like tired of all this stuff happening to my town? Like our fish are bad, like our bartender was like punched in the face, we have mosquitoes that are killing random people, and now there's like ogres.
First of all, they're orcs, not ogres. It's a very big difference. Second of all, I mean, maybe you should have thought about that before you decided to live on the frontier. The frontier is the forge in which more...
I did not decide. I was dropped off on this street and abandoned.
Well, that's news to me.
Good one, Cedric.
How was I supposed to know that?
Could have asked. Could have asked.
Well, I mean, okay, that sucks. Sorry about your town. It's real rough.
Sorry about your life.
Yeah, sorry about your life. Yeah. Well, these challenges that moored in places before us are the forge that will refine us into the weapons that we will become. I'm sure you're a better person.
Let's go get breakfast, and maybe Cedric's mouth will be full of food instead of words.
Usually it's just full of his foot.
Yeah, breakfast sounds good. Weren't we supposed to meet up with the wise woman again before we did anything? Do we need to talk first? I don't know, you guys not okay with helping them? Like, do we need to go back and tell people in the town first?
I I'm the people of the town. Who would we tell? We should fix it.
As long as she's not asking us something really crazy to do, I kind of feel like we should help them. It seems like it would only assist in protection of New Sechester, discovery of new knowledge here, and if we help them, I feel like they might reveal a whole lot more to us about where we are and about this place. So, as long as she's not asking us to, I don't know, take down a dragon, I think we could probably help.
Do they even have dragons here?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's money involved, and I get to beat the shit out of something. So, I mean, I'm good. I'm with you guys.
All right, I think we're in agreement. Let's go seek out the.
All right, yeah. So you guys head back to the sort of lean-to-ish structure where you met Isbeil the night before. And you sort of, I mean, you can't knock on the flap, but you know, you sort of like let her know that you're there, and she pokes her head, and she pokes her head out again, and you see again this woman, bipedal goat person, the Ibixian. So she has long curling horns and pure white fur, which is unlike any of the other Ibixians you've seen so far. All the rest of them have sort of medium or dark colored fur with bleached tribal-esque markings on them, but Isbeil has pure white fur, so she doesn't have any of these bleached markings, but she is adorned with a variety of necklaces and bracelets and things hanging from her horns, strings of beads made out of seeds and wood and stones and bone, and all sorts of interesting things. So she indicates for you to come into her lean-to and says, I'm so glad that you came back to see me again this morning. As I said, I think I might have another task that you could do to help us, but first I've brewed some tea. So she sort of indicates there's like, you know, some pillows or blankets on the floor that you all can sit down, and she hands each of you sort of handleless pottery mugs with some warm tea, and then she takes one as well and just sort of sits down and looks at all of you. Cutscene. Calder, Tempest, you woke up this morning and journeyed the last little bit of distance to the outskirts of the camp of the Chun An Iar, where your wise man told you that you should seek counsel to solve your problem. What would you like to do?
So the last guest you had did an Irish accent the whole time, right? Scottish accent. Oh, so, well, I could do like a Sean Connery thing the whole time if you really want.
Evening audience, yeah?
What do you want to do, Tempest? Do you think we should just go ahead and head into town and feel good about this? Like, let's finish this mission up, right? Yes. Of course, yeah. Let's do it.
Alright, so you head on into the clan's encampment, and again, the Chun An Iar, they're quite a bit more nomadic than your own clan, so it's not quite as established. The lean-tos and tents are sort of every which way. There don't seem to be sort of like avenues between them the same way there might be in your own camp. Are you asking for directions, or you're just sort of going to follow your instincts to find where you need to go? Instincts. Alright, oh boy. Which should I make you roll for that? Let me see the character sheet here. Sorry. Taking a gander at the skills. I know. I'm just looking at the skill list. Let's see. How about a wisdom check? Just a straight wisdom check. We won't use a skill. A d20 plus your wisdom modifier. You got a 9. Who's got a question for Jonathan? Because he failed. Any audience questions for Jonathan? Anyone wants to know about Jonathan? Or about Calder, which we know nothing about Calder yet. No? Well, we'll save it. The Tempest. You are not as sort of excitable as Calder, maybe is a good way of putting it. You're just very mission-oriented. And you are very clearly able to sort of examine the clan encampment before you and pick out the tent that seems like the right one. You know that's where the wise woman lives. That's where you need to go. So what would you like to do?
Go there. Now. Go there too.
Alright, so cutting back to the inside of the link too. So yeah, Isbeil is sitting there, just sort of sipping her tea and staring at all of you. And all of a sudden, the flap of the lean-to opens, and she sort of looks at it and goes, perfect timing. And would you two like to describe yourselves now that we're all in the same room?
My name is Tempest. I don't really like to talk that much.
I like you.
Oh, she's not saying this to you. This is just
I have dark-colored fur with white markings that look like axes on my shoulder and my back. I wear studded leather armor, and I carry a great axe and a heavy crossbow. I'm very muscular. I'm scary. And I have a resting face that does not smile. I'm really good at chopping things. I'm an Ibixian barbarian.
I'm Calder. I am the goofy one. If there was a pop culture reference, it's like Michelangelo and Raphael kind of from the Ninja Turtles. I am Calder. I'm a druid, an Ibixian druid. I have kind of grayish brown fur, and I have what look like chestnuts drawn into it, like a circle within a circle with kind of like a cross pattern to it. So it's like a cooked chestnut. And with me is my always trusty and stalwart companion, Imogen the Badger. Imogen the Ornery Badger, I think is what I originally called her. Yes.
Does she just walk alongside you, or you're carrying her?
It's like a Pikachu thing on my shoulder.
Solid. Yeah, so Calder and Tempest, before you, you see a human man with a beard wearing robes that indicate to you he might be some sort of slinger or spellcaster. You see a human woman with sort of funny purple blue stuff on her cheeks, but otherwise looks very similar to the human man. You see a man, again with a beard, but who's very short. And his shirt is disgusting looking.
Very short, very short.
Yeah, and then you see another sort of tallish figure, so again, similar in size to the humans, with his hood up. But you guys have never seen people anything like this before. Yeah, and you guys see those two descriptions. But before any of you can really say anything, Isbeil turns to the two of you and says, I don't know your names, but I knew that you were coming, that you would need my help. So, what is it that you need? Because I think these people might be able to give you more help than I can.
Well, we have just kind of gotten assigned to a grove outside of our village where we take care of the chestnuts. I convene with the nature and I do all the spells, and she does all the chopping. But lately we have been noticing some problems with the trees that were assigned to us. In these early days of spring, we have seen that the trees are leafing out, but there's bumps and patches on the leaves and buds, and even on the younger twigs. The trees really just look kind of sick, and it's not normal. It feels weird. It makes me unhappy as the nature convener. I don't like it as a druid, and we can't figure it out. I've tried to talk to the plants. I've tried to talk to the animals. Nobody knows what's going on, and our boss sent us here to you. So help us figure this out so we have something to eat.
As he well should have. This is Mokta that sent you to me, yes? Yes. Wow. That sounds strange, and I do not know much about the tending of the trees, but the thing you describe is unlike anything that I have heard of. I've been around and am a druid myself, and yet I do not know of this sickness. It does not sound familiar to me. But I wonder, as I said, if these people who found us only yesterday might not be able to help you in some way. They are from another place, and the world is changing. And I wonder if maybe this sickness could not be from another place as well, and that they could help you. Friends, would you be interested in helping Calder and Tempest?
Yeah, I think we can handle some trees. Sounds like you might have some kind of blight, perhaps, in your chestnuts?
I don't know, it sounds easier than fixing their fish problem, so...
So, chestnuts are kind of tree?
Yes, they're like the other green things that are growing out of the ground over there. Except they happen to have chestnuts on them. This is why they're different than those ones.
Sure, yeah, we can come jot those down for you. Or whatever.
I'm just gonna stay silent because I'm gonna go with you guys no matter what. So.
Hi, I'm Cedric. I think I speak for all of us when I say that we would be really glad to help you guys.
Should I just kick them?
Don't kick the nice people.
You guys
Maybe the short
don't
one.
understand anything that's happening right now. She is not
Do we trust them?
We can, yeah, basically she trusts them. So, yeah, not her, maybe, but the rest of them seem cool. Blue face and lizard guy. Yeah, that's good stuff. They don't have hair, I don't know, but we can like.
Yeah, so you do notice that when the female Ibixian spoke, she was only speaking in the language. You've heard it before, Bedwar spoke to his clan chief, and the clan chief spoke to Isbeil in what you would presume is the Ibixian language, but the two of them had a side conversation, not in common. So you know now that the male Ibixian, this druid, Calder, with the badger, he speaks common, and of course Isbeil does, because that's how she's been speaking to you, but the other one, she did not choose to speak in a language that you would understand. So do with that what you will.
Can I pet the badger? Lucanus walks over and scritches the badger on the ears because he secretly likes small animals.
Roll a handle animal check. What sort of disposition does Imogen have? Sheryl really doesn't like people. Oh, it's not a 1. It's not a 1. You got a 4 plus? What?
I have a 2-handle animal bonus, so that's 6.
A 6. Does anybody have a question for Joe? Before he gets mauled by the badger? You sort of reach your hand out and Imogen's like... And she just sort of does that thing where she like gets her legs all ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my hand back.
Good choice. Alright. Anything else?
That big rat is not like you.
Now you know how we all feel about you half the time.
Cedric, please don't try to eat our new friend.
Oh goodness. Alright, so you've decided you will go help them. And you've decided you'll accept their help? Yeah? Alright. Yes, you have to play nice because you're all sitting at the same table. Don't you want to do what the weird old goat lady told you she wants you to do? She likes you. Yeah. Alright, what are you going to do now?
Chug that tea real fast.
Chug that tea real fast. Yeah.
Alright.
After that?
Let's go! I'm all wired up from this tea.
Where are we going?
We will have to go east of here to where our people live, which is on the edge of the forest.
And how far is that?
We're going to do some walking. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a couple of days. But we have the badger. Everything's going to be good.
You think you can make us some tea to go?
Yeah, Cedric's never had caffeine before, so I assume he's just going to be twice as bad.
I didn't say it was caffeinated tea. This is like good old-fashioned herbal indigenous person tea. But yeah, so she sort of chuckles and hands you a cloth. The bag is kind of like burlappy in texture. It's got some more of that, like the leaf and flower mixture that she used. So you've got some tea mix, I guess.
I'm just saying in Ecuador, like our indigenous tea is made of cocaine leaves. So
Not everything is about Ecuador, Nancy. This is Arda. There's no cocaine. At least I haven't put any cocaine in the world yet. Okay. So she gives you a little package of the tea mix. And if you have something to boil water in, I suppose you can make tea for yourselves as you go on your journey. So Calder and Tempest lead you out of the camp of the Chun An Iar and east across the grasslands. So you are going farther east away from New Sechester. You are absolutely not within sight of the walls of the city. I mean, you weren't when you got to this camp, but you are farther away than you have ever been from this city, Kay. And you guys, all of you except for Lucanus maybe, are farther into the wilderness than you've ever been before. So it's very much like that scene in The Lord of the Rings where Sam says, if I take one step more, except you've already taken many more than that step. It takes you about 2 days to reach your destination. We're not going to role play through all of that, like keeping watch and random encounters in the night, because we've only got tonight, so we're going to skip it. But basically, you travel for 2 days. So the day when you met Calder and Tempest was the morning of the 27th of Mistrun. So you sleep overnight and journey again on the 28th day of Mistrun. And then you reach the edge of the pronunciation before I say something stupid. The Coille Neo-Chríochnach. The Coille Neo-Chríochnach. On the morning of Salunim, the first day of Bloom Run. Dan, Peach, wherever you are, the Scotch Gaelic thing is killing me. These pronunciations are the worst. Anyway, yeah, so it is the morning of Salunim. That's the equivalent of Monday for all of you playing at home. The first day of Bloom Run in the year 972. You are on the edge of the forest, and then you lead them into your assigned grove of chestnut trees, where, just as you described, it's a grove of chestnut trees. Notice where we are tonight. Some large trees, some small and still establishing. Basically, all of the trees present with these sort of odd red-tinged bumps and round growths on the stems and the leaves, very much as Calder described to you when you met him 2 days ago. What would you like to do now?
Well, Cedric's never seen trees before, so we shouldn't ask him about anything, but Fletcher actually knows things about things, so maybe he has an idea about things.
Where are chestnuts are like Arda Campaign, but I don't know anything about well,
Especially because where you grew up.
and I guess I want to roll to see if I recognize anything like what's wrong with the trees. Their signs and symptoms, perhaps, of the disease.
Right. So
Let's see if I recognize it.
Are you doing a physical inspection? Are you just searching your memory? What are you doing? And that'll determine.
I think initially, since we just arrived, it's just like memory from the visual I'm getting. Like we're not really like in depth doing anything yet.
Then roll me a knowledge nature check. It is the name of the show. I did that on purpose. 14. Well, so growing up in farm country as you did, this definitely looks like a plant disease of some kind. You don't necessarily think that there's anything sort of like nefarious or like magical about it. Like it seems like a plant disease. You've seen things like this on trees and crops at home, but like what it specifically is,
That's why it's culture.
Right, yeah. Well, you can do more.
That's like PCR,
Right,
Yeah, what's my lab setup here? You need to do a site assessment, see what other stressors, see what kind of mortality spiral this tree is in.
Give me a straight inheritance.
14.
So, since it does look like a pretty conventional plant disease or ailment to you, you do notice that the round growths on the stems and leaves, they look like galls. Yeah, they look like galls. So you can do with that what you want.
I'm assuming if I recognize it as galls, I understand like a gall. So these growths on the tree look like these would usually appear when they're being caused by another organism. So there's something attacking the tree. Doesn't seem, like bad magic or anything right now, but it seems like there's just something in the environment that is attacking these trees and causing these galls and perhaps the other symptoms and then the decline and death of these trees as well.
So like there's something inside. Can like, I don't know, Cedric or Lucanus just bash one of them open and see what it is?
I would do it a little bit more carefully than bashing. Maybe if one of them has like a dagger, we could slice one open slowly. Usually sometimes it's very, very small things.
Do we trust either of those two boys or something to do that? I have a dagger. Lucan gave me one. I'll cut it open.
Go ahead. I pull a couple off the tree. Get him on the ground for play. So
Hold on. Whoa. Did you just touch our shoes? Yeah. You gotta ask her. You gotta ask permission of her to touch the shoe.
I'm very sorry. I think I got a little over enthusiastic trying to help your growth here. Would it be all right for us to remove these things to get samples to try to figure out what's wrong?
I think he's gonna help us. He seems smart. He's got a beard. He's the airiest one of them.
It's cool.
The hairiest one of them. Alright, so Cedric has a longer beard than Fletcher does. For you at surface area, he has more hair. You brand yourself as a buffoon so early on. Nobody wants to. Also, you can't reach. So yeah, Fletcher pulls some of these galls off of the ends of the stems of a few of the chestnut trees and gives them to Kay. You have your dagger? Alright, roll me a straight dexterity check. She might be a rogue, but she didn't put all of her points in dexterity. No, straight dexterity, sorry. So it's just a 20 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay, after you're done with that, would you let me know if I can eat these things?
She got an 8. Anybody have a question for Nancy? Or a question about Kay? That was a fail.
Where did you learn to do the makeup that you did for yourself and for Jody tonight?
Yeah, Nancy did the makeup on Joe and herself.
I used to do cosplay when I was living in the States, and now I just like Halloween way too much. So I learned it all from YouTube.
So, that's what I'm deciding right now. Percentile dice. Tell me, how does Nancy fail to cut open a doll? She did not cut towards herself. No, instead she just sort of, you know how when you're cutting open a gall, you can either get it right and you slice it right through the chamber so that you see the thing on one side, or you can like guess wrong and you slice the thing in half. She sliced it in half. So now there's just like goo. There's goo. Somebody else has to try then.
I literally don't have tools to cut.
I mean, I bet Kay could like hand you her dagger.
I also have a dagger.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cut this thing open. What do I need to? 16 total.
Alright, so Lucanus very coolly takes the second gall from Fletcher and expertly slices it in half with his dagger. And inside, you see this little thing. It's like a little, almost translucent, wormy thing. It's not very big, you know, only maybe a few millimeters long.
Sounds right to me. That's basically everything that's involved.
That looks delicious.
Can you not eat it?
I mean, he's obsessed with eating rats. Why wouldn't he eat tree worms? Would that really surprise you, Cam, at this point? I'm not really kidding. But so this, I'd say this looks like it's an immature of some kind of insect that has infected the tree and the growths appear around this insect. So I'd say there's an insect here attacking your trees. Have you ever seen something like this before?
Nothing quite like this. We've had pest problems here and there, but it's usually enough I can slice it out. This is too big.
So it sounds like this either came from another part of Arda, perhaps, or is some sort of newly introduced insect. Now that it's open, I've looked at it, can I now do like another investigation? I'd like to see if I've seen this before.
It'd be another knowledge. When you get a +5 this time.
I rolled a 20.
Wow.
Well, alright then. So the way this works is that like when you've got something that a DM is like waiting for the players to figure out, normally there's like sort of tiered difficulty classes for like, oh, they rolled a 12, they get this much information. Oh, they rolled a 15, they get this much. He's just going to get the whole stat block because you rolled a 20. Fletcher, these galls are caused by the Audramian chestnut gall wasp. The wasps lay their eggs on the stems of trees, and the larvae feed inside the galls until they are ready to emerge as adults at the beginning of summer. So probably around early bright run, which is about 1 month from now. So they're sort of mid-maturity. All members of this species are female. While infection by these wasps is not a threat to the lives of the larger trees in the grove, the smaller trees might be in danger if they're heavily infested. And any trees with galls will lose some of their twigs and they won't produce as many chestnuts. In Tenebria, where you're from, The Adranian chestnut gall wasp is best controlled by a host-specific parasitoid wasp, Adramus sinensis. Stop. So one choice would be to control this infestation through introduction of that parasitoid to control the population of the pest gall wasp. Alternatively, native parasitoid wasps could be bred and released in large numbers as an IPM strategy, or integrated pest management. Yeah, so it's a wasp, lays eggs, makes the trees unhappy. We've got some options. K, you recognize Adrana as the country where Leon is from. So it's another country on the same continent as Tenebria.
I tell you all of that.
So, remember that bartender who's super nice to all of us and got beat up once for that fish incident? Yeah, he's from the place that I think that wasp is named after. It's not super close. It's not at all close. It's not really close at all.
How long has he been here? Could he have brought personal effects that brought the wasp with him, and now it has found its way to this native population of chestnuts? Do you know? Is that someone whose history you know?
You probably know he's been in the Sechester probably basically since he started being in town instead of just
I don't know. He's almost as old as the town is. Like, he's been here a long time.
What are the, okay, so you need to go back to this town, collect some wasps there, and bring them back here. How long would it take to ship something like that? That seems like a lot of work to me. Do you guys have any rearing facilities to rear native bugs?
We need to get you your Arda biocontrol permits in order to ship them across county lines and
take it out of game.
Okay. Oh, no, we can keep playing.
Yeah. Take it out of game for that discussion.
Would you want to do that out of game right now?
Yeah, I think it would be, this was,
I didn't know we wanted to.
No, yes, that was absolutely the point. So guest players get to choose sort of the basic theme of their guest appearance, and Jody picked invasive species. So yeah, I thought it would be fun for us to talk about invasive species, crop pests, and biocontrol during our little Bell out of character session this evening. So have at it, folks. I feel like that's a specialty for this group, so this is going to be a good one.
Way to build us up like that. It's no pressure. Okay, you guys proposed this biocontrol topic. Obviously, Ryan first brought up, when we heard chestnut, we all thought chestnut blight, which is not an insect-induced gall phenomenon. Did you guys come up with this idea? Was this a collab?
she just said invasive species. I picked chestnuts because that's where we are.
Oh.
So it's the Asiatic chestnut gall wasp.
Yeah. So. So normally when we kind of break out a character and talk about this biocontrol and stuff like that, it's to kind of talk about it for the audience. Is there anybody here that's not familiar with the idea of biocontrol?
For this audience, we probably don't really.
Yeah, there are several people here in the audience who know more about at least can we bring up audience members to talk about
Who wants to
biocontrol?
say their favorite invasive species biocontrol?
I'll run the mic around. They don't want to sound them in front of their insect friends.
The camera can't see you, so nobody knows who you are.
The camera can't see you, so nobody knows who you are. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you want to tell us your favorite invasive species? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Literally every entomologist can talk about being an SP. Like,
I mean,
my favorite invasive species would have to be the spotted lanternfly. Which is probably why Peter pointed at me.
Why is it your favorite?
It funds my schooling. I work with preemptive biocontrol for spotted lanternfly. So I do a lot of non-target investigations through my research.
nothing like money to make you love a pest.
So my favorite invasive species actually isn't an insect. They're wild, they're like feral goats on the Galapagos. And they just shot them with machine guns out of helicopters and just left them there. And that's how they dealt with that.
So I guess since I'm the guy who recently shipped to study plants, how many of you guys watch old school westerns? Raise your hands. Handful of you guys? Alright, so you know how tumbleweeds are kind of emblematic of westerns? Yeah, like none of them are native. So most of the ones that you see in older westerns are usually either Basius scoparia or Russian thistle, who my advisor, when he watches this, is going to be really mad that I don't remember the scientific name. But those were introduced late 1800s, early 1900s, and they were introduced after the period where most westerns were set. So most of the tumbleweeds that you see in westerns are actually like really highly invasive species.
Are you telling me that Fievel Goes West lied to me?
Yes, yes.
Hurt. Anybody else got a favorite invasive species? No? The audience is shy. She likes the emerald ash borer because it's shiny. They are shiny. Oh. It's more the fur we hate you.
Yes, yes. Somebody's just gonna be like,
well, for the people listening, watching to this at home, I think something really important to address with this kind of topic is, you know, we're talking about invasive species, but a lot of times in the news you also hear the term exotic species, and it's important, or non-native, and so those are different categories based on how they move through the environment and how they impact the environment. So you can have like a non-native or introduced species, like a lot of the things people put in their landscapes that are European and Asian species of plants everywhere, and they never leave the landscape. They don't ever go anywhere. So they're introduced and they're not native, but they're not invading the environment around them, pushing out native organisms or causing some kind of harm. Whereas it's the invasive species, what we actually call invasive, that do that harm. So weeds, I deal with Canada thistle at work, and it is very invasive. It forms these giant colonal mats of this thistle, which if you have that in a field, you lose all the yield that you have in that spot from crops because it can outcompete everything. We have a sort of a new-ish one in Pennsylvania that I talk to people about a lot, which is there's 3 species of Asian jumping worm. And it's important to know too that in a lot of areas of the United States, all the jumping worms that we have are not native. They're European species. In the north where the glaciers hit, there were no more worms. So the worms that are there now came over with European settlers. And so we tend to think of those as introduced or almost like naturalized to the environment, and we just think of them as, oh, there are worms. We don't think of them as causing damage. Now we have these new worms, and we call them invasive. We're afraid of the damage they're going to cause.
So, because I'm in Nebraska, we're like way behind. So the Japanese beetle is the big thing in Nebraska, even though all of you guys are like way past that. Yeah, you guys are way over, and people are like, what is this thing? Like, and they have one, and I'm like, oh, well, you're lucky. The brown marmoset took just like a couple people this year. So we're way behind, but things are coming across. I'm just trying to explain that, like, they're not. I mean, everybody panics. We don't have as many bugs as but in the grand scheme of things, they're very freaking out, right? So that spot on lantern fly, like you can't talk to someone to prevent. It's always kind of reactive. But yeah, explaining that, and a lot of times everyone's like, why is everything from Asia? And I was like, well, think about where we get products. Think about where you're getting things. Like where did you get all these plants in your garden? Oh. Right, and so evidently I am like the expert of the jumping worms in Nebraska. So anytime that there is a new invasive, you have to explain, just because they're non-native doesn't mean they're invasive. Another thing I get asked about are the Chinese mantids. Right, should we kill them? So I'll pass it on to you.
Oh yeah, it's always funny, especially in Nebraska, Japanese beetle we have 100 years of data for, and everybody seems to know about it where I'm from, but it blew their minds when it started eating all of their different plants. And I mean, I feel like they should have heard about it at some point before, but preparation just doesn't seem to come into play for a lot of normal folks when it comes to invasives. Like when I first moved to Nebraska in 2014, we were warning about emerald ash borer for 2 years, another invasive species that somebody likes, I think they said because it's shiny. It destroys ash trees, all the different varieties and species of ash that we deal with. And we warned people for 2.5 years, and when it showed up, everybody acted like the sky was falling. They were like, why have you never told, where was all the warning? It's like, right here, like all these things on the wall. It's something that doesn't confront a lot of people until it kills their thing.
Aside from goats, on the Galapagos, we have a really big problem. I think it's a type of housefly or flesh fly, I can't remember. But it's not a bot fly, despite having an interesting biology, but it's attacking one of the Darwin finches, so it's an endangered Darwin finch. Yeah, and it lives, like the larvae develop inside the sinus cavities and nose of the baby birds and like down the throat and stuff, and they die. So we have this invasive fly in the Galapagos that's killing off like endangered Darwin finches, and it's, if you want to go to the Galapagos and do some research, there's an opportunity for you.
I'm trying to remember. You guys were the ones that told me the story about the nursery truck that opened up and all the Japanese beetles flew out of the back, right? Is that you guys know? I don't remember who told me that story about that. I could have sworn it was you guys. Somebody was telling me that they were like an ag inspection agent or something, and like a truck pulled up to like deliver plants to a nursery, and like there was a place that hadn't been invaded with Japanese beetle yet, and they opened the door and all the bugs flew out off the plants, and the inspector was just like, "You gotta be kidding me! Like we literally told you not to do that."
We can probably talk about this all day. But like that gets to how invasive species move through our environment, and they tend to end up moving so quickly because we move them everywhere. Like when you think like Asian jumping worm again, because I get working in the botanic garden, I get calls and questions all the time about these kinds of things because homeowners hear about it. And the only thing, since we don't know that much about it or how to control it yet, all our recommendations are about just try to prevent spreading it, which is really hard. And I think we have the quarantine zones for the spotted lanternfly. That if people aren't really obeying that and checking their cars before they leave, like if they don't understand that those eggs can be laid on literally anything, they could end up moving an egg mass into an entirely another state, like in the Midwest, and suddenly there's spotted lanternfly. And so we assist in that dispersal so much. And the number of
non-native species we have has just gotten to the point that we have these like non-native or invasive complexes where we have brown marmorated stink bug, and then we also have Ailanthus, tree of heaven, and Paulownia, princess tree, that are the preferred hosts of theirs in their native range. So now we have these invasive complexes of these things that it's like we're just recreating what they want from where they're from, but in a different country.
Okay, fine. One more. Alright, so we're going to talk about complexes. My absolute favorite is, toad flax, an invasive weed that looks like a tiny little snapdragon. Beautiful, bright yellow flowers. And I noticed them one year. Actually, it was the first year that I ever worked in extension. I got really excited about it. And there was a big patch of it right outside my office. And so I was watching it all summer bloom. And I thought it was really cool because there were these bees that were coming and pollinating the toad flax. European wool carder bees, which are another introduced species, pollinating this plant, which is also native to their native range. Oh, that's cool. They're, this invasive species here also, being pollinated by another invasive species. Like they brought their ecosystem over here. And then once the flowers set seed, the seeds developed into galls. And I got excited about that, and then I realized the galls are induced by a weevil, which is also native to Europe, that was introduced as biocontrol for the toad flax. It's like, oh, that's really cool, that's neat. That's, again, another step to this ecosystem. And then on top of that, I reared out some of the weevils for photographs, and it turns out there's a parasitoid wasp that attacks the biocontrol weevil that was then accidentally introduced after that. So there's this, several trophic step interaction that occurred, in the flower bed right outside my office. So that's my favorite invasive species story.
Yeah, well, we could, but so let's go back into character, because biocontrol is one of the options that Fletcher could suggest as a fix to this Adranian chestnut gall wasp problem. That's a mouthful. Adranian chestnut gall wasp.
So, our trees, where I'm from, do sometimes actually experience these galls, and there is another insect that I've seen that will attack the pest insect, but there's no way we'll be able to get that from there all the way to here in Arda. So the best thing we may be able to do is perhaps see if we can find something here and try to encourage that in their fields of these trees and see if there's something that will recognize this gall and attack it. Or when the adults are out, perhaps we can just spray some kind of poison.
Do you have a private applicator's license? Okay. Good. What categories? 04? Alright, I don't know. I don't speak your fancy Nebraska codes or whatever.
So there are these bugs that are attacking the trees, and we're going to just get more bugs to attack those bugs. Could you explain that better?
You just explained it. So we have the pest that's making these galls that are harming the tree. But if we can get basically something that wants to attack and kill the pest insect, they can start bringing the population of the pest down. And even if the galls are never gone, if the good bug is always around, there should never be enough galls to really harm the trees, and they should really keep the food going.
So you're a druid, right? Can you, magically create some good bugs to eat these bad bugs?
You could, but it would have to be one at a time with some of nature's owls, and they don't stick around.
We've tried a lot of things.
What have you tried?
We tried that. We tried to stomp on them. She did some chopping. Nothing has worked. None of the things that we tried.
Oh, we should have asked that first, what they had tried already.
Yeah, like tree owners over here. So, yeah.
Sorry, I just assumed homeowners just don't know what they're doing.
Can I tell my compatriot what these suggestions?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they want to bring more bugs here to kill the bugs that are in the tree. What do you think of that? You want me to ask him that? Where are you going to get the bugs from?
We'd have to find them. Perhaps if there's some of these gulls out in the woods, not in your orchard, perhaps we can find something that is doing this service out there, and then we can bring it here. So it's maybe a long shot, but it's one option.
He thinks that there might be good bugs in the unmanaged trees out in the woods around us. Have you been out there lately? Have you seen any of these gulls out there? These things that they're calling gulls popping up on the trees there? Have you seen some? It's bad. Bad bugs are out there too.
I haven't seen bugs that eat bugs.
She says that she's been out in the woods and she hasn't seen any bugs eating the bad bugs.
Any other ideas?
So there are bad bugs.
But you've seen gulls out in the forest? Or there are no bugs at all?
Just the gulls. Just the gulls that we're seeing on the trees here.
Does anyone else? Can anyone else think of something that's not cutting down all the infected trees and burning them?
I'm not going to tell you.
I said that's not.
Well, so the good news was that the established trees are not going to die immediately, right? So that's good, but you are going to have some chestnut loss. Is there something you could do? So Fletcher, you said that the adults emerge from the galls in the summer. Is there something that we could use to kill the adult wasps? Some kind of poison bog or poison liquid spray? Is that a druid thing? Can druids summon poison bombs?
I can detect poison.
Yeah. I can also detect poison. We should talk about that later. It's super useful being level 1, isn't it? Okay, so we have not observed any native biocontrol happening. And
But there are pests in the woods on the chestnuts. So if there's anything that's happening out there that is helping keep trees alive, we should find out. Maybe it's not a good bug, but we should go look.
Let's go look. Sheryl, we're gonna go look. In the woods.
With our eyes.
we're done talking. Cedric is done talking, which is a feat.
Start walking through the woods.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're done talking? Okay, so you're going into the woods farther. You're gonna look and see if you can find anything. Boy, that's a lot of things. You're looking for gulls.
Yeah, I'm associated with the gull.
Okay, alright, okay, alright. So, what?
We're looking.
Okay, people whose realm this is, who actually know where they're going, which direction do you want to go? Alright, Tempest, which way do you want to go? You can go north, you can keep going east, you can go south. Yes, this is the role-playing part where you choices. I said you could go north or east or south because west takes you back into the grasslands. You're going south. All right. They're going to go south. No, west was just grass where there are no trees with galls on them. All right. No galls? No galls. No problems. Check. We're done. Everybody, it was great. Have a good night. No. So you're going to go south into the forest. This sounds like a great place for us to take like a 5-10 minute drink refresher break. So everybody can take a break, grab a drink. We'll be back in a wee bit. Don't forget to tell your friends that they should come hang out with us. Also, the Twitter poll has closed. Thank you for voting. Don't look at the Twitter poll. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't look at the Twitter. I'm telling good players. You guys can look all you want. No, it's closed. No more, no voting, no looking. Don't look at the Twitter poll. Go get yourselves a drink. We'll be back here in a few minutes. Thank you, everyone. What would you look at that? They didn't want to be here. You must have been doing something right. Awesome. Well, hi. Thanks for still being here. We are still Nature Check. We didn't change. I hope not. Everybody's still who they say they are, right? Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm Sheryl, the Dungeon Master for this evening, and then we've got Joe, Peter, Nancy, Brian, Jody, Jonathan. Some of them are playing D&D for the first time or close to the first time. None of them have died yet. So if we can change that soon. Just kidding. Yeah, we're playing Nature Check. Don't forget to tell your friends that we're doing the thing. If they're here in St. Louis, they can come and watch and heckle. If they're not here in St. Louis, they can follow us on Twitter. They can find Nature Check as a podcast or on the YouTube or all nights except for tonight where we had not strong enough Wi-Fi. They can find us on Twitch where we will still have technical difficulties, but they won't be, hopefully not this bad, unless Peter keeps cursing us. You know. So yeah, thank you for being here. So to get us back into what we were doing, what were we doing? So the crew had discovered that Calder and Tempest's problem with their trees was that the chestnut trees were being infested by Adranian chestnut gall wasps, which are my not very creative proxy for the Asiatic chestnut gall wasp or the Asian chestnut gall wasp or whatever. Anyway. So it's a small wasp that reproduces parthenogenetically because hymenopterans have cool sexual genetic stuff. So they don't actually have males in their species. So the females just lay eggs on chestnut trees, and insects are cool. So they just lay eggs on the trees, and then the egg hatches, and the larva lives inside the tree, and the tree forms a gall around the larva because it's irritating, just like Peter. We can't have that? Okay, yeah. So Fletcher was able to sort of dive back in his memory growing up in the agricultural area in the southern part of Tenebria and realized that he recognized it as pest and came up with a few thoughts on how they could maybe fix this problem, but the crew has not sort of solidified their decision yet. So Calder and Tempest have decided to lead the group farther south in the Coille Neo-Chríochnach, I said it right this time, which means the Unending Forest in Scotch Gaelic, or Ibixian, because in this world Ibixian is Scotch Gaelic. So they're leading them south farther into the Unending Forest to investigate other trees that are not part of the grove that Calder and Tempest were charged with protecting and sort of watching over. And I guess they're trying to see if other trees in the forest are also sick. I think was that the plan? That's close enough to plan. Okay, good. So that's the thing that you're doing. So can I get sort of how you are moving through the forest? I won't call it like a marching order because you don't have to be walking in a single file line, but like is one person or two people leading? You know, like what sort of walking arrangement are you hanging out in right now?
Cedric is in the back looking at the trees like he's never seen trees before. just kind of, yeah, they're really tall, looking up at them, and every now and then like stopping and like touching them. No hugging. No touching.
Kay is waiting for Cedric to trip on the roof. Can't see, and is following Fletcher, and not in front and not back, but in the middle somewhere.
I'm in the front, and I'm really interested in the other barbarian that's around, even though I don't know if I can communicate with him, just because he's like big and mean looking.
Oh. Is that your type, Tempest?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'm kind of hanging out with her in the front so I can translate.
I think I'm kind of trailing close behind them so that if they spot anything like trees or they recognize anything going on, I'm there with them as they're noticing things. So I guess K is kind of like there with me.
Lucanus is just sort of skipping around, flipping the occasional log because, I mean, bugs, right? Yeah.
And salamanders,
Well, I mean, ornaments are a thing, I guess.
I guess. Oh,
But where is the badger?
but where is the badger?
Still around the net.
Like a boa.
Very lazy.
It's a badger boa. Scarf. She'll get her exercise. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that Tempest and Calder are leading the way with the badger. Wow, you guys are the worst. With Fletcher kind of right behind them, and then Kay, and then Cedric? Or, wait, were you in this? You're all over?
We're both in the back.
You're all over.
I'm just like running from rock to rock and
Okay.
just super excited and like also eyeing the badger because I still want to pet it, but I don't want to get bit.
Okay, cool. Alright, so Tempest and Calder in the front, Fletcher right behind him, then Kay, then Cedric. Lucanus is kind of taking the Billy path. If anybody's a Family Circus fan, I'm so old. Why are you mean? Fletcher only has 5 hit points. Oh, he only has 4 hit points. This is gonna be some fun. You don't have a constitution bonus? Oh man, alright, he's got 4 hit points. Anyway. Well, if that is the case, so you are heading south, sort of slowly, I assume, because you're sort of investigating as you walk. Right. South through the Coille Neo-Chríochnach. So I need Tempest, Calder, and Lucanus to give me spot checks. Or, sorry, perception. I'm dumb. Perception checks.
I got a 14.
You got a 14. Perception. It's a skill you wrote in.
Good sound effect. I appreciate good sound effect. What you doing?
You're taking off the shot?
Oh, he's just looking at that.
Oh, I thought he said he was.
You got a 17.
No,
there's just little sequences.
They're perceiving something.
If he rips them out, there will be problems.
Yes.
I'm like a bird. It's just something shiny and I have
Okay.
There's a lot of shiny.
17. Alright, so 2 17s from the Ibixians and a 14 from Lucanus?
Yep.
Nice. As you're walking along, all 3 of you suddenly notice something. You notice that my computer fell asleep at an inopportune moment. There it is. I know, right? You notice something. As you're walking along, you're sort of skipping. The 2 of them are walking purposefully, looking at the trees, and that is in fact their mistake because they're looking at their trees when they should have been looking at where their feet were going and where their bodies were going, because all of a sudden all 3 of you realize that you can't move anymore. And if you look down, you can see you are tangled in something. Something sticky, something red. It's maybe dripping a little. And Lucanus, it smells like blood. Oh, crap. Roll initiative!
Alright, let's do this.
Thanks to everyone who voted. This is the first time that Nature Check has been able to play with a real map all at the same table.
I'm gonna find this right now. Make sure I save it. No, this is let's say this one. We need to watch this as well. Yeah, no.
Okay. Did anybody get above a 20 initiative? Okay. You got to wow, okay. 23 initiative, okay. Do over 19. Anybody 15 to 20? 10 to 15? 10? Then, which one of you has a higher dex bonus? Are you for realsies? Why are you doing this to me? Roll a d20 again.
I got a 10.
You got a 10. You got a 9. Alright, Calder. Tempest. That's good, because then Tempest can figure out how to use this map, because she's never played D&D before. It's great. Every square is 5 feet. You get to move up to... You get to move up to 8? Craziness. Alright.
Can they move if they're trapped?
That's a great question. We're going to find out. Alright, so that was 10 to 15, right? 5 to 10.
I've played this game.
Oh, boys. Fletcher. 5 to 10? And 8. Okay. I was worried. I'm still concerned. And share your shame with the class. Wow. Why are we tying? Swear to all of the gods of the Pantheon. Just roll again.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm bringing up the rear.
So then Cedric. And then Lucanus. It's because you're a ref. Okay. So we're in initiative now so that we can take turns. But yeah, we're in initiative now so we can take turns. But Kay, even though you're going first, you don't actually you don't realize that there's a problem, right? Because you didn't see you're behind Fletcher, so you haven't actually seen that there's anything wrong yet. So we're gonna. What? No, Cedric's still walking around. Yeah, Cedric's behind you, Fletcher's in front of you. Neither of them has done anything yet, so you're okay. We're gonna put you guys you're kind of in this clump of trees, so you can place yourselves in your approximate order. Move them this way. Because you guys can all see that.
Where are you? Okay, so I'm just gonna say I was over here.
We haven't seen each other.
He has a nice hat. I think that hat is
Which doesn't seem like a long time.
It's having inside.
Oh yeah, I could set him inside. There we go. Oh, almost. Alright, so now we've got that in order. Alright. So yeah, Kay, you don't notice anything's wrong yet. The Calder, it's your turn, and you can't move. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. I'm reading stats. Yeah, you are tangled. So you can try to escape, you can try to cut it, you can yell for help. You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna go. Not so much. One more.
Great, cool, awesome. Yeah, so you can yell. A turn in 3-5 is approximately 6 seconds, so you can yell what would take 6 seconds to yell. You can move, except that you can't. Or you can do like an action. So in this case, action would be like attacking, casting a spell, or like I said, attacking this sticky stuff around you, or trying to break out of it or whatever. Yeah.
I want to go out to Tempest in our goat language and see if she's doing okay.
Is that all you do?
Yes. 6 seconds of screaming and goat.
Screaming goat video.
People playing goats who are screaming like people. Like goats. So now it's Tempest's turn. If that's all you got. What? Alright, so Tempest, you hear Calder yelling and you look down and realize you are also stuck. You can say anything you might want to say, you can try to break out of this stuff you're stuck in, you can try to cut your way out, you can
I want to try to get out.
Okay.
How Seal is my great axe. I don't have a bad one, so I named it my axe.
Awesome, I love it. Alright, so you're using some skill to break out.
Yes.
Alright. Did you want to rage or are you just gonna
Oh, I love to rage.
You love to rage, do you know how?
No.
No.
Good deal.
You have a thing? Okay. Alright. So do your thing where you rage. So you now you're
You just say outrage.
rage. And then you're gonna cut your way out. Okay.
You're on withdrawal, probably.
I think now she's stronger than you. She might be stronger raging than you.
Surprise.
Okay, so roll me an attack.
They wouldn't care. My wife and parents.
Sylvia tells because we're all sure.
Yeah, so it's her base attack bonus plus her new modifier plus her. So her base attack bonus is 4. Okay, base attack bonus plus her great axe is a 2-handed weapon. So that's 1.5 times her strength.
Sooner or later, I want to
So it's 1.5 times. No, it's not. And it's not under your ground now, so it'd be 7. Plus 4. Yep. Right. You got an 18. Alright. Your great axe. Yes, your great axe cuts through part of this sticky red stuff tangled around you. Roll some damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And again, it's the damage die plus 1.5%. Two-handed weapon, so it's the D12 plus 7. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
All right, Tempest. Yeah. So you take your great axe and you hack down at this sticky red stuff that's tangled around your legs and part of your torso. It's getting all gross in your fur, and you give it a mighty chop. But it is still stuck to you. It is still stuck to you. But that is your turn. So now, the two of you who are in the front, you see this thing sort of move out from the shrubbery in front of you. It's big, it's red, it's got 8 legs. There's this. It's a velvet mite, he says. Those things are so darn cute. I love velvet mites. Right? Have you seen the Oatmeal's comic about velvet mites? I love them. It's not a velvet mite. That wouldn't be any fun. It's a giant spider. It is a blood silk spider. But you don't know that yet. The audience does, because they picked it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Alrighty. So Calder, what's your AC?
Armor class is...
Your flat-footed AC. You don't get your dexterity bonus because you are stuck. You don't have any dexterity bonus? Or I mean, you don't have any armor on? So your flat-footed armor class is 10 plus the armor you're wearing.
I have 13 marks in my armor.
No, because that's the +1 for your leather armor plus you have a +2 dexterity, right?
+1 dexterity.
You have a +1 dexterity, so your leather armor gives you a +2 armor class? Okay, so that means that your flat-footed is +2, so 12. Because you don't have the +1 from your dexterity right now because you can't move, right? So you can't dodge. That's what flat-footed means, okay? So Calder, as this thing crawls up to you, it reaches out with its palps and its mouth parts, and it bites you. I need to roll on the table. There we go. Oh. And you take 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Somebody got hurt. It's my favorite part. Alright, so you take 5 points of damage. Maybe. Maybe.
I just don't know a lot.
Yeah, fine.
It's okay, you guys keep going. You're that
She killed our
I killed a farmer. I did not kill the guest. The guest survived. I killed an NPC. That's not a big deal. NPCs die all the time. It was dark. Okay. And then, with its legs, it's reaching out and it's touching the web that is on Calder, and it's touching the web that's on Tempest, and you each oops. Not yet. Not yet, you don't. Well, okay, so I had 4 different monsters picked out, so I didn't exactly memorize this one. So it's touching the webs, touching you. It's touching the webs, touching you. Touching you. Yeah, so that's its turn. Fletcher. You hear Calder yelling in that language that you don't understand. And then you see this kind of in between them, you can see this. I mean, it's not a medium creature like that. I just picked a mini that was big enough that you could see it. It's still a small creature, so it's maybe the size of the badger. But you can see it kind of moving in between the two of them where they've stopped in front of you. This large red spider type thing. Yeah.
Since I hear them screaming, can do I readily observe that they're stuck? Like they're not moving? Do I see what they're attached to? Okay. Then I'm going to move. But knowing that there is this stuff on the ground, is it everywhere, or can I see where it is not so I can move where there isn't stuff that will catch me?
Make a perception check.
Well, I got stopped like this. There's so much crap. 20.
Alright, you do not see any more webs.
Then I can move.
That is difficult terrain, so
That's not one.
So you can still move through it, but it'll take twice as much movement. So each square counts as 2 squares. Just that. The raised, the other squares, that one and that one are brambles. The other ones are trees that you can't walk through. Like, sit apart and you can walk in. But yeah, you can walk through that bramble, but it'll be
Alright, I'll be back. And I cast shield on myself. To provide +4 to my AC.
Yeah, you do.
Because I'm a wizard.
Who doesn't love a hero? Okay.
By the way, if I'm trying to get myself to live a little longer,
Yeah.
immediately die.
Alright, Cedric. You hear this yelling, you see Fletcher moving. You're still kind of behind Kay. But yeah, you can see that the people in the front are yelling and seem to be stuck and being attacked by something, question mark?
Can I tell that Tempest was injured? Like, do I know?
You probably heard Calder yell.
Okay. Calder, you were injured. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna run forward, and as soon as I get up to where Calder and Tempest are and see the spider, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna put my hand on Calder and cast Shield of Faith on Calder. So we +2 to AC.
But that's not the picture.
No. Yes.
Neat. Okay, so you've got Shield of Faith cast on you. Lucanus.
So I'm going to go into rage mode, which means that my skin turns color, turns into this sort of, opalescent pearl type thing, and sort of emerald green scars, much like my face right now. This is what he looks like when he's in rage mode. Okay, so I'm pretty much stuck, right?
Pretty much. You can try to burst out, you can try to cut your way out.
So what happens if I try to burst my way out? mean, like, can I just Kool-Aid man my way out of this motherfucker?
If you want to Kool-Aid man your way out, you can do a strength check, or you can do an escape artist check if you'd like to be a little more graceful about it.
Yeah, I'll just strength check those. Alright, so strength 15, score 4.
Sure, Spider Silk has no tensile strength. Oh. 17 plus? 4. Plus 4 for your strength. That makes it a 21. You guys watch as Lucanus just like tenses and bursts it, and all of these little like strings of red web go flying. You are free now. That's also the end of your turn. But you are free now, so you can take the hat off of him. Yeah, huh? Yes, and now it's all over. Well, actually, Fletcher is closer. I feel like it's on Fletcher this time.
I have my shield.
You have your shield, yeah.
I'll win on the shield and I'll put it up.
If you remember the scene from that one Fast and Furious movie where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just flexes his way out of the cast, that's literally what I just did.
That was way higher than the DC to get out of that web, so good job. Alright. It's the top of the next round, but before it's Kay's turn, where that spider is touching the web on the two of you. You each take 3 points of damage. And make a perception check for me, the two of you. And anyone else who's got a... Yeah, you two are the only ones. I mean, Cedric's kind of close. Cedric, you can also give me a perception check. I don't know if you're really in line of sight of the spider. Perception? 14? 11? Wow. I don't know if you can see the spider that well.
I don't know either, but I got an 18, so
What's...
and that's not even with the plus 3.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case.
Probably the best
What do we got over there? Perception? 14, and Cedric 11, right? And a 22 over here. So you guys are, it hurts, right? And lost another 3 damage each. Lucanus, even through your rage, as you're like looking around to see the source of this problem, and you sort of look up towards the two of them, and in between them you can kind of see the spider. It's almost like the spider sort of like pulses a little bit when you hear the two of them yell as they get hurt. It's almost like the spider, like you see it like expand a little, maybe, almost, yeah. Okay, it's your turn. Now you hear and see all kinds of chaos breaking out around you.
I'm gonna see if there's anything around me to like not step on. I'm gonna try at least. 17.
Yeah, you don't see
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna also walk in instructions. Wait, if we go to athletics, it's fine.
the first thing on the 5 is
Okay.
So basically, if you were walking around, it's a 5, 15, 20.
Okay. 5, 10. Let's say 15. I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the spider with a crossbow bolt.
Okay, just
Alright.
a reminder, does he melee with which gives you
Minus, yeah. What is the minus? Minus. Alright, well, I don't want to do this. It doesn't be 20, right? 20 minus 2.
20 plus, I think that's your dexterity.
So I basically, well, I got a 2.
Calder, a crossbow bolt goes sailing past your horns.
empathy? Am I able to use that on a spider such as this pulsating red demon?
What would you like to do and how does it work?
So wild empathy, a druid can use body language, vocalizations, and demeanor to improve the attitude of an animal, such as a bear or monitor lizard. This ability functions just like a diplomacy check made to improve the attitude of a person. The druid rolls 1d20 and adds the druid level and charisma modifiers. It says that wild empathy can be also used on a magical beast with an intelligence score of 1 or 2, such as a basilisk or a Girolon. Girolon.
And intelligence is level 2?
Correct.
Okay. Alright, what are you doing? You're doing like interpretive dancing?
I want to see this. I want to see this. No, you gotta say it.
I can put my arms out still, right? My legs are stuck. So I'm gonna like do a spider dance.
Oh, it's like a peacock
And
spider.
yeah, and kind of like do the hand wave, and then see if I can talk this spider down. I wanted to stop zapping us.
Okay, and what does the ability say? Is it like you can use it like a... Is it like a diplomacy or anything or something?
It is a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy check, do a diplomacy check.
So I roll a d20 and add my charisma and my druid level. So 11, charisma bonus. I got 13.
Okay.
That happened.
Tempest, it's your turn. We have to wait until it's turn to see if that does.
It's fine.
You saw strong didn't do that.
Can I headbutt it?
The spider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I headbutt its cephalothorax? Because its head and its thorax is fused together into a cephalothorax. Can I headbutt it?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
So then I roll this.
Yep, that's one first.
That's bad.
What did you get?
Well, that's a 3. And then
Oh,
I have
you're fat.
7. Does that happen?
No, you kind of like go to do it and you realize you don't have enough like range of motion to get all the way there because it's still kind of low, right? You can't bend all the way to get to it, but good attempt.
It's my turn now. Oh yeah, so you tried to headbutt it, but you didn't have quite the range of motion, so you just kind of like, you couldn't quite get to it. Because you're still stuck. So the spider, sort of like, I mean, it's not like a dog, but you know, if it were, it would kind of like cock its head at what Calder's doing, and kind of shifts its attention over to Tempest. Oops, I just rolled a 20. I confirmed it, sorry.
That is not the way I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That is the laugh of the number.
Oh, God.
Never sorry.
Oh, alright, you only took 5 points of damage total. 2d6 minus 1 each is not very much damage, but still, 5 points of damage, and it bit you. Well, spiders don't make that noise. Anyway, yeah. Fletcher.
Over here, so it's in my line of sight. And then use Ray of Frost, which acts as a ranged touch attack.
Okay.
Do I add anything to that?
Range touch is 20 plus your dexterity.
10.
Calder, you see this little dot of bluish white light go flying past your horns.
Calder for 1. 1 hit point. You're welcome.
I like the short one.
Hey, big spender.
You might be the only one who likes the short one.
He healed you using his teeniest, tiniest healing spell. Right, yes.
I have 1 first level spell slot, and I already used it.
Wait, what did you use it for?
Shield of Faith.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah. Our tempers around him could be what you would describe as short.
It's your turn.
Alright. Yeah, I'm just gonna run at this thing. So, Lucanus draws his greatsword, and I mean, maybe things are about to get bad for this spider. So, 17. Oh yeah, no, I'm running right at this motherfucker, just like Peter just put it there. It's like, yeah, here. I can move. Yeah, I can flank it. I can like move 40 feet in a turn. Alright, well, 17 plus 4, or plus 2 for flanking. Oh, plus 6. Yeah, 23. Let's roll some damage. 5.
Lucanus suddenly runs up out of nowhere. Calder, you can see him on the other side of the spider from you, and he just takes out this giant greatsword and slices right through its abdomen, and there's blood spurting.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
I would like to add that attack does not go anywhere near your
Yes, no, yeah, it was very, very spider focused. All right, it's the top of the next round. Calder, Tempest, you each take 2 points of damage. And now it's Kay's turn.
I'm gonna try and shoot it betterly this time. Still gonna try and shoot it. Well, I got 4, so.
Check those dice.
There's like an arrow, and it goes like right in between where Calder and Lucanus are looking at each other, just like. Calder, it's your turn.
Terrible, terrible.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a sight. Can I try to use that to cut myself out?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot my sight. I'm gonna try and hack my way out of the way. It's a, what's that? So that's a D20, right? Okay. 18.
Okay, yeah. What was the name?
Okay. I got a 5.
Okay.
Oh, plus 1, so 6. Because of my strength, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay. Tempest.
That's the stuff.
Okay, so we're still stuck. Spider is kind of keep corner from you. I start spider, you break the web.
Can I shoot with a heavy crossbow? Or is that overkill?
That's at close range, so. Nice try.
I'll try my axe again.
On the web or the spider?
On the spider.
Okay. Roll the attack.
16 plus 19.
More than that, but yeah, that's rolls again. Yeah, you have a, yeah.
Still in range.
Yeah, so it's 7, right, it's 7 for your base attack plus 4 for your base, or, sorry, 6 for your base attack plus 7 for your strength plus whatever. Yeah.
So Tempest just like has had enough, and she takes her great axe and just like way up like over back behind her head and like down on this spider and chops off like all of the legs on the side closest to her, like just demolishes it. It's still alive, but she did an incredible amount of damage to it. Yeah. But it is now the spider's turn. And it is not happy about that. But it's also not happy about the hit that it got before. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Lucanus this time, just to mix things up a little bit.
Let's see. 15. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the spider hits you.
Oh wait.
What?
I'm wearing my leather daddy.
You're wearing your leather daddy armor. Yeah, that's in there. Yep. Okay. So you take 5 points of bite damage from this spider. And it's Fletcher's turn. It's Fletcher's turn.
Yeah, I'm just going to try Acid Splash, which is another touch-based attack. $21. It's still not going to be that much damage. How does something deal 1d3 damage? Because that is what it says for the spell. That's not possible.
Well, it is. So, take a 6. 1 and 2 are 1. 3 and 4 are 2. 5 and 6 are 2.
Got it. 3. So it's 2 damage. 2 acid damage.
And Calder and Lucanus, this time you see a tiny little green dot come sizzling past between you, but it hits the spider. And it hits the spider like right in this sweet spot, in where the cuts have been coming in from the sword and the great axe, and it just does that final little bit of damage because it hits in the sweet spot and then sort of very quickly spreads out, and the spider sort of starts to liquefy in between your feet. And it doesn't really seem to be moving anymore after that. Woo! You killed the spider. Now what?
Dude, Fletcher, that attack was so cool. That's the first time I've ever seen it hit, and it was totally awesome.
It was a sick acid burn.
Cedric is going to step forward and heal both Tempest and Calder for 1 additional hit point. Yeah, I know. It's been there. What was that thing?
Are you asking us?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but like, they're not that big where I come from. Yeah, we have spiders in the cage back home. They would come and eat the rats. Yeah. They're really big spiders, you know, they get to be like face-sized. That thing was like the size of a badger. Yeah. Yours did not.
So, wants to do a knowledge arcana check to figure out more about it. Only if you're trained in knowledge arcana.
Am I like the spider?
14.
Is that knowledge arcana?
I am. Okay, well, I have knowledge for living.
Anybody else trained in knowledge arcana?
Okay, so Fletcher and Cedric, you both recognize that this is a blood silk spider, and that they are magical beasts named for the blood red webs they spin. So they're magical beasts. Fletcher, you also realized that blood silk spider webs drain blood from trapped creatures by boring into the flesh. Ew. The spider consumes blood drained by its web, growing tougher in the process. So it was, in effect, draining hit points from people trapped in the webs that it was touching and gaining those hit points for itself. Yeah.
And they don't like dancing.
Well, I mean, it did stop attacking.
So are these common in this?
I've never seen them dancing.
You've never seen one before? Huh. Could they be, are these the good bugs that we're looking for, Fletcher?
Not good bugs.
Even if they were the good bugs, I don't think we'd want to try and use them anyway.
We want something that will eat bad bugs and dolls, not blood.
Do bugs not have blood?
Oh man.
Lucanus is looting the spider, so can we eat these?
You can eat anything once.
I guess.
So what did you get on your looting check?
13.
A 13. It's a spider, or was a spider. A good portion of like the middle of it has been liquefied by Fletcher's acid attack. All 4 legs on the left-hand side were sliced off by Tempest's axe attack. Yeah, so you got sort of a partially dismantled spider.
No loot.
Spiders aren't known for carrying coin pouches. So no, there's no loot. If you wanted to take like spider parts, you could, but there's no loot.
Acid probably made it.
I mean, you guys look pretty rough. Do you feel like we should maybe head back to? Is there a? Do you guys have an encampment near here that we can head back to? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna ask that, but like, you have a really nice cave near here that we could stay in. The place that we came from is 2 days away, Fletcher. Do you guys know of another nice place, like a nice dry cave?
Are you looking for a holiday inn something?
Is this where you guys live? Do you guys live in this grove of trees? Okay.
We apologize for him, and he does not speak to the rest of the group.
Yeah, we can take you to our house. Yeah, we got some barracks. We can hang out there and maybe heal up since we lost quite a bit of blood to the spider. Feeling a little rough over here. So can we get out of the web now? Like we're free to go?
Yes, they are still tangled while you're having this conversation. So it's not like oh the spider died and the web just like fell away, because that's certainly not how it happens in your house, right? Like the cobweb still sticks around. So yeah, but between the team, you can dispatch the remaining bits of web that are attached to Calder and Tempest without too much problem. And so yeah, you guys are all free and unencumbered at this point. And like I said, you are free to take any spider bits you want, or you can just leave, whichever.
Are we able to take any of the silk so that we could capture any rocks that we see?
Give me a dexterity.
Seven.
Not
So let's take them back to our houses, which we do have, yes. We'll walk back towards camp.
Sure. There was a question over here I don't want to ignore. The four sort of core players, so Lucanus, Cedric, Kay, and Fletcher, make just a straight intelligence check for me. This is the check we do when we're trying to remember things that we were told before. 16, 13, that's a 16.
What's the check to see about collecting stuff? Canvas spider, it's like what
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, what did you... Kay and Cedric are not paying attention. What a surprise. Yeah, so Fletcher... Alright, so Fletcher and Lucanus, it makes sense that you two were the ones that were most interested in sort of looting this spider, quote-unquote, because you did remember that someone in New Sechester said, if you happen to come across any spider bits, I might like to have them. In fact, she said it a little more like, oh, if you came across any spider bits, I'd be happy to have them. Right? Yeah. Yep. And at the time, I believe the reaction was spider bits. Where are we going to just find spider bits? Right. Yeah, so if Fletcher, if you would like to try sort of carefully butchering this spider, I guess, or what parts are you looking for? Anything specific?
I'm going to hand Fletcher my dagger so that he can complete this task. I don't know if you have a dagger, but I have one.
Yeah, well, basically the stuff that's intact, like legs, mouth parts, glycerin helps and that stuff.
Perfect. In that case, dexterity.
4. Yeah, so you start trying to kind of like hack it up, and you know enough, I think, to realize that you're making a botched job of it before you get too awfully far. So you just kind of have like spider bits all over your hands and a dagger and like, you know, partially dismantled spider on the ground. So the butchering isn't going so well. That doesn't mean you can't take it home with you, it just hasn't gone so well so far.
Can I? Yeah. Can I roll to butcher the spider?
I'll give you one more chance.
5. Oh.
Nope, we're done, because each time you try, it gets a little more smashed and gooey and, yeah, so, sorry. It's not one of those checks you can just keep going on. But yeah, so, we've got kind of a, you know, mashed spider. Yeah, if you wanted to just kind of like... Yes, you can absolutely look horrified at this. Tempest's opinion of you guys has not improved, I think, even though she spent like 3 days with you now. She's like, these are weird. These are weird. I've never seen them before, but they're weird. Yeah, so you don't really, unfortunately, get any like, you don't have a doggy bag of spider bits per se. Like I said, that doesn't mean you can't take it home with you, but you kind of have to like scoop a loop all of it, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So do you want to try to like just pick up what's left, or are you good? No? No spider goo? Okay, cool. Alrighty, in that case, what would you like to do now?
Yeah, we're gonna go to their house.
Alright. Yeah.
There's no value judgment associated with not living in a cave.
There's no value judgment associated with not living in a cave like a normal person. It's just, that's, there are different types of places to live in. You guys live in these weird structures made out of dead trees. That's fine too, I guess. And rocks. You just take the rocks out of the ground, you stack them up, as opposed to just leaving them in the ground and living underground like a normal person, but whatever.
Oh my lord.
It's not your fault.
Wow. Yeah, so Tempest and Calder, you're taking them back to the Unicilla? Okay. Yeah, so after maybe like, what? Yeah. Yes, that. Yeah, so maybe after like, maybe after like an hour or so of walking, you guys come to an encampment that doesn't look too dissimilar from the Chun An Iar encampment that you were already in. Again, some tents, some lean-tos, structures that aren't necessarily very, aren't intended to be very permanent, although in this case, they look a little more permanent than the ones in the Chun An Iar camp, or they're sort of arranged in a little more, like, logical a pattern, as if they've been here for a little while, and the people there wanted to make sure that it was easy to sort of navigate between them. Yeah, so I'm assuming the two of you are going first. Yeah. So when the guards on the outskirts of the camp stop you and they're like gesturing wildly and asking you in your own language, like, basically, who the fuck are those people behind you? What is going on? Like, you look like shit, but also, who are those people? Is it their fault?
So we had to go get pest control people. We got a bug problem. This was the best we could do. And so far, things are not working out great, but I promise, I vouch for them, they're going to be fine. On my druid's honor, they're okay. Most of them. They can come in, please.
So these guards are bigger and older than you, and they're kind of looking at you like, these kids, what the fuck did they get themselves into? They're just kind of like, and I don't know, they sort of like look back and forth between the two of you, and they look over all of you. And you have your hood down right now?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, you have your hood up? Well, in that case. Yeah, they see that all of you have weapons, and they see you waving furiously, and they're sort of like...
Would they trust Tempest more than like just like other druid dudes?
I mean, they look at the two of you, and they sort of like snort, and you can bring your friends in.
Friends is generous.
Where exactly did you want to take them?
They were going to stay in our tent.
They were going to stay with you?
They're going to sleep there.
Let's start by letting someone else make that choice about whether or not that's okay.
Yeah, let's ask the chief.
Okay. So you're going to take them? They're going to
No, I should.
So you're gonna take them to Qatar? Yeah. Okay.
We call him the big guy.
The big guy. You didn't want to read the pronunciations I gave you. The chief. Yeah. So you like start walking toward Kastan's place, and these two guards fall in line behind you guys. They're following very close, and they have their weapons out. They don't look exceptionally happy. You've only seen a few Ibixian faces at this point. These are pretty easy to read. They don't trust you. They don't like you. Again, you're getting the impression that like you are the first of your kind that many of these people have seen. But they might have heard of you before, and they're not happy you're here. So you're going to the chief's tent? Yeah. Okay. You going inside? You're going inside. Okay. I'm gonna come over here. Or maybe we can have this conversation without me having to pass the microphone back and forth. Hi. Wow, it's a whole different perspective over here. So just right. So you guys you're going inside and leaving the rest of them.
The guards are gonna watch these.
The guards are gonna watch those for yeah. Okay. What are you gonna do?
I don't like this. She's making
We can't bring it back.
Alright, let's go see the big guy. Alright, we walk in, I explain that, I say hello, and I kind of bow, I'm very obedient to the guy. I say, we went to Isbeil, and we asked for her help, and it was very serendipitous. There were 4 great adventurers that were there, and she vouched for them and said that they were going to come and they were going to help us to fix the chestnut problem. And it's gone clean, right, Tempest?
We're gonna fix it.
It'll get done. But we're tired, we got hurt, there was a little spider mishap, and
Practice run.
yeah, practice run. And we need to rest up. And we got a place that they can sleep. We're hoping that if it's cool with you, that they can come with us and spend the night.
So Ush sort of looks at both of you, and you referenced your wounds, and he definitely sort of takes that in, and he looks at you, Tempest, and says, the whole reason we sent you with him was to keep him from getting into messes like this.
That's stuff.
I got nothing.
You went to see Isbeil and the Chun An Iar, and she had adventurers.
Yeah, there were these 4 squishy, hairless people there, and yeah, he's the one that sent us to fix the chestnut problem. And she promised us that they had helped him, and that they were big folks, and that they would come and that they could help us solve this issue. And so far, they've been good. Like, they figured out there's a bug in there, they cut things open.
He just sort of stops you. He doesn't, you already know this, he's not real into like details and sciencey stuff, right? He became chief because he's the best fighter in your clan, right? So he says, well, squishy and hairless, they sound weird.
They are weird, but a good weird. Helpful weird.
A helpful weird. And Isbeil trusted them enough to send them out with 2 brand new grove keepers.
And tea. She sent some tea.
How thoughtful. Let me see these weird, squishy, hairless beings you brought with you, these great adventurers.
Adventurers. I said adventurers. Okay, I'm gonna go outside, and I'm gonna take these 2 first. And I'm gonna introduce them first. This is Fletcher. He is a wizard. And Ibixian. And he's the one that really helped us figure out the bug part. This is Kay. She's a human. She shoots arrows. You know, arrows? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. They have been very helpful. I'm going to warn you, the next 2, interesting folks is what we're going to say. One of them has a very dirty shirt. I don't know how you feel about that. And he's kind of short. Okay, ready? All right. Cedric, would you come in?
So you guys see this, again, very large Ibixian, like when you met the previous clan chief. You're getting the idea, again, these guys, or girls, wind up being clan chief because they fight their way to being the one in charge. This one has reddish-brown fur, just loaded with markings, and he has very large, like maybe twice curled, cream-colored horns, and he does not look happy. And even though he got, you don't know this, but, you know, Calder spoke to him quite a bit, and referenced the 2 of you, he's still looking very sort of like suspiciously and sort of glowering at the 2 of you as you 2 come in. Oh, just Cedric. Okay.
And this is Cedric. My understanding is that he is a rat-growing dwarf. And
I smile really big.
Yeah.
I go.
Cedric.
He says one word in common, he just looks at you and goes, short.
So this one's good. It's not left talking, left right.
description of tough, and you said you pulled your hood down as you walked in. So he's listening to Tempest, and he turns to you, and you see he doesn't give a lot away, his eyes go wide, and he kind of looks at you for a long time. Did you look at him with his hood down before? Why didn't you lead with that? They didn't read the email I sent them. Okay, alright, yeah, so why didn't you lead with that? No wonder Sheryl sent them with you if you have someone like that.
Wait, so also? Are you just calling police?
Yeah. Yep. We have no clue. Yeah. So he turns back to you and again, in common. That smile. So he turns back to you and again in common and says, "You help?" They're weird. Apparently. If they helped you not get killed by whatever this is, a blood spider. Okay. Well, that's good that you're not dead, I guess. Try harder next time? Yeah. Okay. As long as they don't cause trouble.
Ruben's on there. Alright, let's go to the tent. Let's go get some sleep and eat some food. And get some spells. Yes, you can stay.
Sleep over?
You can sleep over. That's it.
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to do anything else with the plan while you're here, or you're just shuffling them off to your tent to avoid public scrutiny?
The vibe I'm getting is it's best to, get these folks under cover of darkness.
So, I was staying with Denver and these great recipes. So I was wondering, do you guys have your own different recipes? I just would like to try recipes.
So Calder and Tempest, you don't actually, you might have heard this word when you were Calder, when you were learning Common, but you haven't seen a rat before. That's not the thing you know.
He talks about it.
Yeah, he talks about it a lot. This is not an animal you've ever seen before. Yeah, it's something you've heard about from the Western clan, but again, something that doesn't live, not around here apparently, as far as you know.
We mainly eat the chestnuts, and so I can make you a nice chestnut pie, if you'd like to try that.
Yeah.
Do you know chestnuts?
I like vegetables.
Yeah, I like vegetables.
Lucanus is just sitting there in the background.
Ask him what vegetables are.
What do you think a vegetable is?
Well, I've never encountered one in a while, but from my limited experience, their flesh is delicious. I would be more than willing to help you run one down and kill it if you need my help with that. Yeah, I'd be glad to participate in that.
We're sorry. We're sorry. We're not also culturally ignorant.
luckily, chestnut isn't a vegetable, and we don't have to kill it. They're already kind of dead. And we can make you a nice dinner out of our chestnuts. And so Tempest and I are going to cook them up chestnut pie, and then we're all going to sit down and eat it.
Works for me. Thank you for your hospitality.
Please stay inside.
It's interesting that you say that because as you turn, because you hear the sound at the flap of your tent, and you see a few like children just like duck out of the way. Sounds like maybe word of your guests spread from those two guards and anyone who might have seen them or seen your friends walking through the village with you. So now you're maybe a spectacle, at least for the children in the camp.
Are you guys like married?
We get that a lot. No, not married. We are just assigned work partners, and it's totally cool. She's never punched me in the head or anything. It's all good.
It's generally rude to ask people their personal relationships when you don't really know them that well. That's why.
Need to know.
We're teaching him the ways of living literally not under a rock. So, sorry.
I'm gonna go make a pie, and I'm gonna leave Tempest with these four.
Really?
You wanna come with me to make the pie, or do you wanna hang out with them and keep an eye on them? You gotta watch over them?
I mean, you can't speak their language, so that's maybe
I will let Tempest hold Imogen, and then when she's held by her, yeah, you'll probably you can help me with that Imogen.
Okay, I'm wondering if I can draw something to communicate with them ideas about the situation.
remember that you would use question marks.
What if I just drew a tree and a bunch of other smaller, different non-chestnut trees?
Okay, do you have a insert grasslands?
Oh wait, I have craft.
I'll let you use it. It's not like art, but it's a stick, but you see this drawing, you'll see.
So I was trying to draw like,
No, it comes up. That's what you do.
okay, that's what I did.
Trees and some non-chestnut trees. It's not
I
like
think she's trying to speak to us, but all I see are trees, and you're the scientist.
Lucanus takes a look at the drawing. Yeah, I really can't see the forest through these.
That's all you need a microphone.
Yes, I wanted to be
Anyway.
very good.
Fletcher, do you know what this means? I mean, you can't like look at it and try harder. I mean, there's like big trees and little trees. Are they different trees?
What level of detail is there in the picture? You can tell it looks like a big tree and little trees. It's a big tree and it's a little trees. And you can't tell if there's a different species or anything about it.
Thank you. It's beautiful drawing.
Really discuss it, look at it, and just turn back and just like,
Hold it up. Face back.
By the way, I can try. I know.
Candace is still on site.
Oh, it's a Are you outside?
Not anymore.
No, I it's a separate outside.
No, Lucanus is just
What did I miss?
I think that it might have been a message that I we didn't understand. And
What did you draw there, Tempest?
Now we're looking for a bug that is
Which crops? We've been eating chestnuts for a long time. Do you want me to ask them? Okay, so what she wants to know is, do you think that we could grow anything else here? We eat chestnuts for a long time, we're gonna have a delicious pie made out of them, but maybe if this pest is gonna take out what we grow, are there other options for us? Things that we could rotate in?
what else do we have here? What do we eat? And rotate.
I mean, chestnuts, like, yeah. A lot of chestnuts and grass on the other side, but we don't really like the grass. So, we don't know the answer to that.
Okay, is there anything else that grows around here? Or you eat like stuff that grows in the city that has fruits or anything on it?
no, we live in a city. Everything comes from outside the city and that in boxes. And that's the extent that I know. I've never seen an apple tree. I don't know. I live inside the city.
Don't grow rice. We learned that recently. It's bad. Because of all the water.
So back where I'm from, we had like all sorts of fruit crops and corn, lots of corn, soy, lots of corn, and a whole bunch of other things that we grew up until, you know, my land got destroyed. So there's other things that you can grow. The question is just what grows around here.
We could go back to our town and bring back some things for you guys to try if you wanted to try some stuff. We know a farmer who probably has some seeds. We know a farmer who's not using the seeds anymore. We
could get something probably really cheap from this video. And then, you know, you guys can try those out. See if it works.
You are done helping.
I feel like I'm helping a lot. This is a good idea. I like this idea. This is a meeting of the minds here.
Here's some pie, put it in your mouth. So they want to maybe bring us back some stuff to try. We can try your idea, and we can try to run some things, and we can convince the big guys and boss that maybe we can switch to chestnuts, since it seems like that might be a good thought. I don't know how to put this together.
Yeah, and we can like talk to some people back where we come from about maybe bringing in some big bugs who could maybe save your chestnut trees in the long term. Yeah, there's trade chips and stuff that might be a long-term solution, but I think we should try a bunch of different stuff and see what works. That's it.
Could we ask Leon what he grew in his hometown?
So I propose that we integrate a whole bunch of different management practices to try and address this pest problem. So we will go back and we'll try and find you some alternatives in the short term, and then maybe try and find you this food bug in the long term. That sound good to you guys? I fixed it!
We, as just like newly graduated people into this work, we got to take this up the ladder. But yeah, in theory, I think this sounds like a good idea. I like the integrated word in particular.
I just came up with that.
Good, cool.
Do you want to take that up the ladder now, or are you going to discuss that later after they leave? You think Ryan's done? Okay. Seems like a good person. Yeah, so that was you traveled for 2 days with these people and tried to help them solve a problem, dealt with the blood-soaked spider, and then went back to their clan's encampment, where you were received maybe a little differently than the clan that lives closer to New Sechester. Thank you for everyone who stuck around and watched us be weird. This is our first time doing anything like this, and it was a little awkward, but we really appreciate that we weren't playing to an empty room. You guys are super cool. Thank you for being here. Yeah, again, you can follow us on Twitter at @CheckNature. You can see us on Twitch at twitch.tv/NatureCheckDND. In the panels below the screen on our Twitch channel, you can see the dates of all of the times that we will be playing. We're also working on incorporating into the weekends when we're not playing D&D, some of these fine people live streaming video gameplay with ecological and entomological commentary, because why not? You can find recordings of all of our previous game sessions on Podbean, Google Play, whatever podcast places where you can find podcasts, Stitcher, all that good stuff. And on our YouTube channel, which doesn't have a vanity URL yet, so you'll just have to search for Nature Check. Other than that, yeah, and we're going to take a break in December because people's schedules are crazy. So I think we're playing once more at the end of November, and then we'll be back in January. But stay tuned for the adventures of Lucanus, Cedric, Kay, and Fletcher, plus assorted random scientist special guest players on Nature Check. Thanks, everybody.